So today we're going to be looking at a story about another psycho Karen. I think that with everyone being stuck in quarantine, the Karens have been forced to hold in their primal desire to scream, shout, and call the police over nothing. And because they've been forced to hold in their rage, they are quite literally losing their minds, as you'll see in a moment. This story and the video to go along with it has been blowing up on Facebook and Twitter. So a few days ago, Heather Sprague, who was the person recording the video, decided to stop by a Pier 1 in Florida. If you don't know what Pier 1 is, it's basically a furniture/home decoration shop. Heather, a mother of 10, also happened to be a brain tumor patient and was actually waiting for her appointment, and to pass the time, she stopped in Pier 1. And at Pier 1, she found a woman shouting and screaming at the staff. Now what Miss Sprague didn't know at the time was that she had stumbled upon a beast. One that is extremely infamous and equally as feared. A Karen. Now this is no ordinary Karen that she stumbled across. It was a Karen fresh out of hibernation looking for its first meal. This Karen is possibly armed to the teeth with... All jokes aside, let's get into the details of what went down, and there's an article that gives us background information to the video that goes along with this. So as I explained earlier, Miss Sprague was waiting for her appointment at Pier 1 when she came across this Karen who was going ballistic at the cashier in the store. According to Miss Sprague, this Karen had been going ballistic for nearly 15 minutes. This Karen hadn't had anyone to shout at and scream at for months. She was ready for her first victim. By the way, the video doesn't show the part where she was screaming because she started recording a while into the encounter. Now you might be asking yourself, what did the cashier do to make her so mad? If she was shouting at the cashier for 15 minutes, he or she must have really messed up. Now for someone like me or you who's pretty normal, you'd really need a lot to make a shout at someone for 15 minutes. I'm telling you, you'd have to snap my debit card in half, you'd have to pop the tires on my car, and you'd have to trash my Chipotle all at once. And even then, I wouldn't have the energy to shout for 15 minutes. But that's besides the point. If you've seen other wild Karen sightings on the internet, you know that it takes very little to make them mad, and that they can be extremely dangerous. And in this situation, this Karen was mad at the cashier, but the cashier didn't do a thing. The Karen, whose name is Deborah, was mad because she herself was delusional. Now I need you guys to follow me here. Deborah was mad because Pier 1 wouldn't refund her because she was trying to get her money back for a picture on her phone. The Karen didn't have the product she was trying to return at all. She had a picture of the product. Just take a second to wrap your head around what is going on. She was trying to get her money back for something she didn't have. There's no other way to put this. This has to be the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard, no cap. This Karen isn't some child either who doesn't know how refunds work. She is 52 years old. 52. Perfect Karen age, might I add. When I first read this, I couldn't believe it. Now that's not even the end of the story. As I said earlier, Heather Sprague found herself in front of a Karen that's going completely crazy. Now what exactly did she do? Exactly what everyone else in this day and age does when they see some commotion. She took a video. So we're going to show you the first couple seconds of the video so we can take a look at what this Karen really looks like. If I had to imagine a Karen, this woman is exactly what will pop up in my head. The sandals, the pants, the top, the hair, the age, even her name is fitting for a Karen. If I had to choose a name for a Karen that isn't Karen, it would either be Deborah or Margaret. Either one works. If you see someone dressed like this and is this age, you should maintain your distance at all costs. Wild Karens in their natural habitat are extremely unpredictable and stupid. Let's continue with the video.
Do you really need this? What do you want to do? Post it for you? How about that?
I expected no less from this Karen. I mean, flipping off someone, recording them in public, just usual Karen things if you know what I mean. Now this is where things really heat up and get crazy.
Good. I think I'll get real close to you and cough on you then. How's that?
Karen proceeds to tell Heather, I think I'll get real close to you and cough on you then. How's that? You heard that right. This Karen is one of the deadliest Karens in the world. Literally during a global pandemic. For one thing, this Karen wasn't wearing a mask. Then she went up to and coughed on a person. And this isn't just any person in great health who might not be as affected by this. It was Heather Sprague, a brain tumor patient. Someone whose immune system was already compromised. Now to be fair, we can't really blame her for not knowing that it was a brain tumor patient, But either way, it's a Karen we're dealing with here. She probably doesn't care what condition others are in as long as she gets her spotlight and attention. Doing something this insensitive during a time that we're in right now is just completely ridiculous. Now let's get into what happened next.
Let's go.
Now in the end here, after Karen coughs on innocent Heather, a couple other people in the background can be heard expressing their disapproval of what Karen just did. After hearing these remarks, I guess Karen was finally satisfied and felt that her work was done because she then proceeds to pick up her bag and starts to walk to the door. But of course, that couldn't be the end of the story, right? As she exited the store, she said, "You're lucky I didn't kick you," as if coughing wasn't enough. There is one thing I want to draw your attention to. This beast has actually evolved. Notice how the recording lasted under a minute, so as soon as the camera was pulled out, Karen decided she had enough. This Karen has adapted and evolved to fear the camera, probably because she has seen what happened to other Karens on the internet, and she didn't want to look like an idiot. But she made herself look even dumber and committed a crime. I think this Karen should definitely be punished for this one way or the other. As for what we know about any police reports, Heather Sprague did in fact file a victim crime report, in which she stated, along with everything that was shown in the video, that Karen had actually threatened to kick her and also tore down a sign on her way out. She also told the police that she wanted Deborah, aka Karen, to be tested for. And yes, Heather also planned to get herself tested after the incident. Now, about what happened to Deborah with the police, those details aren't exactly out yet, so there isn't any solid answer we have to give you. At the time of the incident, Jacksonville was one of the few places that did not have a mandatory covering requirement for indoor places. This meant that Deborah wasn't actually violating any laws about wearing masks. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new here, and share the video to help us reach our first goal of hitting 100 subscribers. See you all in the next one. Peace.